both in person and online, for what I believe is an excellent event that focuses on an area of fundamental importance for Ireland and the EU. The EU is currently undergoing an ambitious systemic change in how we produce, consume and store energy. Although this will mean fundamental changes for Ireland, we also have the opportunity to be at the very heart of Europe's energy transition. With further electrification of transport, heating, etc., the energy system will represent the backbone of Europe's climate commitments. Renewable energy plays an important role in reaching carbon neutrality, together with other technologies like green hydrogen, district heating, energy storage and even carbon capture, which is starting to show that it can play a role with some successful projects coming online. In order to ensure the optimal deployment of renewable energy technologies, it is fundamental for the EU and its member states to provide regulatory stability, incentives and long-term visibility to investors. This means overcoming barriers to renewable energy deployment, such as long and complex permitting processes that today represent the biggest bottlenecks to wind and other renewable energy installations. It is also important we learn from each other. And with Ireland's massive success in integration of renewable into the grid, where we really are one of the best in the class, Ireland has the opportunity to share the solutions to challenges that member states are yet to experience. From laggard to leader, in a sense. Ireland's extensive coastline and strong winds present us with a unique advantage in harnessing clean and renewable energy sources. By scaling up our offshore wind capacity, we can not only contribute substantially to our domestic energy needs, but also play a pivotal role in helping the EU meet its ambitious climate and energy targets. We still face major barriers to getting projects to the generation phase, most notably the extensive time taken for projects to be approved. This must be addressed immediately if we are to stay on track. This means more skilled personnel as well as more resources in general to planning authorities so that we can reduce the unnecessary significant delays. I do not think people realise the extent of the problem, which I am sure is echoed across other member states. On Board Pleanála, which is Ireland's national independent planning body, have not approved a wind farm in 12 months. We can write legislation and set targets all we want, but when facing such delays in the administration phase, potential is doomed not to be realised. This is the point I personally would like to highlight most here today. Following on from this sentiment, in the parliamentary term, we have passed a huge amount of consequential legislation with more in the works. There is a need to balance Europe's competitiveness with managing the necessary transition to a more energy efficient, cleaner and circular economy. This is clear. As many of this term's legislation entails 2030 targets, I believe that the next Commission should focus on implementation rather than adding any more to the legislative file. We have made ambitious strides in this term, but without getting to implementation, all the legislation passed just becomes an academic exercise. However, there is one notable exception, and I'd like to highlight this point at this very early stage. Currently, the electricity market design is being negotiated between EU co-legislators. In Parliament, I was happy with the overall report as it fits the market needs for the short to medium term. For Ireland, there is a major opportunity in the next decade to have no fossil fuels in our electricity system. However, I believe there will be a need to look again at the market signals under the new Commission and make sure they do not block us from achieving this incredibly ambitious yet needed target. Gas should not and must not set the electricity price forever, and our market design must incorporate this fact at the right time so that renewables really can flourish and bring in a wave of cheaper electricity. I would now like to introduce you to today's discussion moderator, Pierre Tardieu, who is the Chief Policy Officer of Wind Europe. We are lucky to have him on such a great panel, and I'd like to thank each of you for making it here today and for those who are joining us online. Pierre, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kelly. Good morning, everyone.